Yeah.
Tim
Son
broke it,
of a
yo.
bitch. I did
Tim
break
broke it, yo.
I 100% broke it. I don't know how I did it, but I broke this shit again. Like this is the
Twice.
second.
This is the second time.
This is the second time. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with this the software. Maybe it needs an update. I don't know, but I ain't fucking with it right now. We don't got a lot of time. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I ain't fucking with it.
That's
So y'all have the benefit of not having to see my grotesque features for this episode. You know what I'm saying? But you do have to hear my mouth. So welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, as you can see from the title, this is a part 2. This is a sequel, if you will. It might be a trilogy at some point.
Hey.
Or it could be an ongoing series because y'all motherfuckers are absolutely insane. But before we get there, I have let's do just a little story time because I feel like there are people that are uber confused out there about why a country like China does the thing it does, things that it does, and why it believes the things that it do. You might ask, well, what's the relevance of that to the it trust me, what I'm about to go into, it's very relevant. All right. So is everybody ready for story time? All right. So because I feel like there's a lot of history regarding China and the relationship with the West that most Americans don't fucking know. If fair Americans knew this, fair-minded Americans knew this, they wouldn't be as fearful of China for the wrong reasons. So it started back in the late 1700s and early 1800s. Britain had a massive problem because they were importing millions of pounds of tea from the Qing dynasty, but they had to pay for it in silver. Why? Because the Chinese emperor at that time told King George III that China did not need British manufactured goods. They were self-sufficient. So to stop the drain of silver, the British East India Company began smuggling opium grown in India into China. Now, for those of you that have a smidgen, just a smidgen of history education, you should know who the British East Indian Company is. But for those of you that don't, let me give you just a really quick introduction to them. They wasn't just some regular business, right? They were monsters, corporate monster, but still a monster, and they had their own fucking army. These were the same people who were deeply involved in the transatlantic slave trade. They transported enslaved people across the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean to work on plantations and in mines. And they built their entire foundation on the exploitation and sale of human beings. You know, human beings that look like me and look like SPJ. So when they moved into the opium business, you already know they was on some bullshit and what they were getting into, right? They were just switching from one form of human misery to another. So think about the gravity of this, because they completely flipped the script on that silver and they left the Chinese economy in absolute ruins. Why? Because they got people addicted to that shit, and all of a sudden their economy started suffering from it, and all of that, right? And so eventually the Chinese was like, nah, nigga, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So one of their commissioners decided to stand up against it, and he destroyed 20,000 chests of opium in Canton. Britain got so mad that their drug money was messed with. They rolled in with what they call nowadays the gunboat diplomacy to protect their interests, right? So now imagine that. They got mad because the Chinese decided this stuff was destroying them as a people, and they decided to destroy the drug before it destroyed them. And Britain got so mad they couldn't keep the Chinese people high as shit that they went to war over it. Go look up the first Opium War. That's what that was about. Unfortunately, though, Chinese lost. They lost that war. And because they lost, they was forced to sign these unequal treaties that, among other things, one, they had to basically give Hong Kong Island to the British. Then they had to open treaty ports like Shanghai to foreign trade. And then this is, to me, one of the most egregious parts of it. They had to grant immunity to Westerners. So that means any Westerner that went over there was not subject to Chinese law. Basically, they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do, when they wanted to do it, and not be held accountable. This lasted 100 years. And this is what the Chinese refer to as the century of humiliation. It's important for you to understand that. Look up those keywords if you have to. Don't believe shit I'm saying to you now. The century of humiliation. Because this was the period of intervention where they were annexed by the Western powers and Japan. So after this 100-year period, right, Civil War broke out between the nationalists and the communists. Now, a lot of you that have studied a little history, you heard of Mao Zedong. So, like in the United States, they tell us he was brutal and this and that. Yeah, he was. But again, you got to understand context. Because initially, it was the nationalists who benefited a lot more when the West was controlling China. They were the elites, government, politicians, whatever. And they wind up turning on the communists first. I know in America, we treat the communists like the big bad guys. No, the nationalists turned on them first. And in Shanghai, they ordered a purge and killed thousands of them. So that forced the communists to move underground. They were almost fucking destroyed. But the thing about China is huge. Huge. So they retreated thousands of miles into the interior of the country. And this was still going on when World War II started. Because at that point, Japan started invading. Mm-hmm. So the nationalists and the communists, they decided, all right, well, fuck it. We got this outside entity coming over here, fucking with us. Let's put up a united front. But here's a fun fact. They wound up fighting each other just as much as they fought the Japanese invasion because the nationalists kept pot-shotting the communists every opportunity they fucking got, right? So after the World War II was over, the Civil War continued because of the bullshit. And guess who the West supported? It supported the nationalists, right? They gave massive support to them. But even after that, they fucking lost. They got their ass beat. And then they ran. But one of the reasons why the nationalists lost is because the majority of the Chinese people favored the communists. They favored that ideology. Not because they're evil, but because from their life experience, they was doing more for the majority of the people, and the nationalists were the elitists. They was the ones that was only caring about their prosperity, not the prosperity of the average rank and file person, right? That's the communist boogeyman shit is a narrative the U.S. pushes and other Western states pushes. That's not necessarily how they see it. Their personal experience was of the nationalists siding with enemies of the country. So they were fighting against the fucking status quo. But after the nationalists got their ass beat, guess where they went? About 2 million of them, including soldiers, government officials, all of that, they fled to the mainland. They fled from the mainland to the island of Taiwan. And this is one of the reasons why Taiwan is so pro-West, because the U.S. saw Taiwan as a bulwark against the spread of communism during the Cold War. You know anything about the Cold War, you know that the United States was sticking their nose in everybody's business because their main goal at that time was to stop the spread of communism. So it didn't matter if the people fighting against communism were bad people or not. They didn't give a fuck about that. Or whether they would oppress their own people. They didn't give a fuck about that. The U.S. didn't support Taiwan because it was a democracy, because Taiwan wasn't a democracy until the 80s and the 90s. And nobody should be surprised that they did that shit, because they do it in the Middle East, they do it in Africa, and they do it all throughout Central and South America. They support these fucking dictators who oppress the people. Then they wonder why the people that live there can't stand the United States. But this is why China still believes Taiwan is a part of China, because they consider this unfinished business from that Civil War and the end of the century of humiliation. They view any move towards Taiwanese independence as a violation of their sovereignty. And guess what? I understand why they feel that way. Because if a people sided with folks trying to hurt all of us because they was benefiting from it, and then we got into a fight and I beat their ass and they ran away and built up and made friends with my enemies, yeah, I'd be mad at that shit too. I'd be mad at like these motherfuckers. Y'all still on that. When you think about all the shit that China went through and all the obstacles they had to overcome, this is the reason why I don't see their growth as a world power as threatening to me. I see it more as inspiring to those of us that don't always side with the colonists, the land grabbers, and the barbarians. It's inspiring for those of us who come from a people who were shitted on, whose names were ran through the mud and are constantly being told they were the problem. I don't fear China. I don't see them as the boogeyman. You know why? Because I have at least a bit of a grasp of their history and mine. I see the things that are similar. The same people who turned them into boogeymen also see me as the boogeyman. So I don't believe everything the United States government says about China. China has their own historical reference to go off on. Most nations have a narrative through line that guides their decisions. China's not this big boogeyman. The only reason the West is afraid of China is the same reason the U.S. fears black people. They know they fucked them over and they're afraid that one day these people are going to want revenge. But just as a prescription to the West going forward, you got to stop thinking you can fuck people over and then expect them to show you love in return. That's not how that works. That's not how humanity works. It's not, right? And the only reason they work so hard to make you fear these countries that they fucked over in your name is to keep you quiet, complicit, and compliant.
Mm-hmm.
You think you benefit from that somehow. The most asinine shit in the world is y'all think y'all benefit from what they do to these other people over there. But you need to realize something. Anything they doing in your name, the people on the other side of the world, they will eventually do that shit to you too. That ideology doesn't have a home team advantage. It doesn't make you exempt just because you're a citizen. Eventually, those same tactics will apply to you as well. And we saw that shit for the past year. Putting troops in your streets, taking away your social services, taking away rights. Women now have less rights in the country than they did, 15 months ago. Keep playing. Keep playing. And this is by no means me supporting everything China does, because China is a government.
Yeah.
And governments do fuck shit all the goddamn time. This is just about context. So, of course, African nations would make deals with China if they think they got a better deal. They don't have the same historical reference for China as the United States citizens are given over here. And also, listen, you got to realize something. You can't expect them to feel the same way after this was one of the countries, one of the, 3 countries that decided that the transatlantic slave trade wasn't the gravest crime against humanity, and you think they're going to side with Western states that did that? That's not how people work. That's not how humans work. It's just not. It's just not. If you fuck somebody over, they're going to get mad. That's just it.
That tracks for me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how that's supposed to work.
You can't keep fucking people over and then think they're going to show you love. It's not how that works. Now, none of that works.
A few crazies aside.
Yeah, well, everyone is nuts. So.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, everyone is nuts. Part 2. So last week, I didn't say a part. I didn't get through everything I wanted to say last week because time.
Of course you did.
Yeah. But funny enough, some of the news of this week goes with the theme that I was talking about last week. So
Isn't that convenient?
we're just gonna continue. So, there's a festival in London called Wireless. Wireless. They announced Kanye West, his mama named him Kanye. I'm gonna call him Kanye. Kanye West as the headliner for that festival. There was immediate backlash. Pepsi, their main sponsor, Diageo, and Rockstar Energy all pulled their support as sponsors. Melvin Benn, managing director at Festival Republic, the company that runs the Wireless Festival, had released a statement regarding Kanye's upcoming performance. He says, "I am deeply committed, anti-fascist, and have been all my adult life." Let me stop right there. Tim, where do you think this is going?
It's just hard to say. Are they about to defend?
I'm a deeply committed anti-fascist.
Because here's the thing, right? When somebody starts off talking about how, I'm not one of them.
It's a version of the compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
But a negative version, a completely negative version. Anyway, completely, deeply committed anti-fascist and have been all my adult life. I lived on a kibbutz for many months in the 1970s that was attacked in October 7th. I am pro-Jew and Jewish state while being equally committed.
Oh, you landed on it, sir. You're landing on it.
While being equally committed to a Palestinian state. Having had
one thing to say, at some point in this build-up that he's doing, is he going to mention the fuck shit Kanye said about black people? I just want to know.
Well, come on.
Because that part tends to get tossed.
You answered your question already. I don't. Having had a person in my life for the last 15 years who suffers from mental illness, I have witnessed many episodes of despicable behavior that I have had to forgive and move on from. If I wasn't before, I have become a person of forgiveness and hope in all aspects of my life, including work. What Ye has said in the past about Jews and Hitler is as abhorrent to me as it is to the Jewish community. The Prime Minister and others that have commented and taking him at his word to Ye now also. Ye's music is played on commercial radio stations in this country. It is available via live streams and downloads in this country without comment or vitriol from anyone, and he has a legal right to come into the country and to perform in this country. He is intended to come in and perform. We are not giving him a platform to extol opinion of whatever nature, only to perform the songs that are currently played on the radio stations in our country and the streaming platforms in our country and listened to and enjoyed by millions. Forgiveness and giving people a second chance are becoming a lost virtue in this ever-increasing divisive world, and I would ask people to reflect on their instant comments of disgust at the likelihood of him performing, as was mine, and offer some forgiveness and hope to him as I have decided to do.
I need him to bite my nuts.
Well, thankfully for your nuts, he won't have to. Kanye West has been blocked from entering Britain after a row over his anti-Semitic comments. Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, prevented the American rapper's visit to headline the Wireless Festival on the grounds that his presence would not be conducive to the public good. The organizers of the North London Music Festival said the entire event had been canceled as a result. It is understood that West had applied for an electronic travel authorization to enter Britain on Monday, but sources confirmed that the government had denied him entry. The campaign against anti-Semitism said that the Home Office had clearly made the right decision. A spokesman added, "It's nice that now Wireless is saying until I'm sorry. It's nice that now Wireless is saying anti-Semitism in all its forms is abhorrent, when just a few hours ago the festival promoter was saying we all need to forgive Kanye for declaring himself a full-blown Nazi only recently. There are plenty of musicians in the world who could have headlined this festival and brought delight to thousands of fans. Maybe next time organizers should look beyond Nuremberg to fill their roster.
Listen. Listen. Whoa. All right, so first things first, right? First things first. The next time one of you goofies chooses to break bad and jump into a bandwagon, red pill, Hitler, Nazi crap thing that you got into and thought it made you look edgy because your skin, by the way, is the skin of the people that they were slaughtering in Africa before the actual Holocaust, right? You'll see that there's consequences. This is the one thing I do appreciate, though, like that this is what I mean by people doing that fake ass. What up, Big Mike? What up, Gina? So this fake ass version of anti-Semitism versus real anti-Semitism. So it's a difference. The shit that Kanye was doing is real anti-Semitism. Y'all can make excuses because a lot of y'all, what y'all trying to do is trying to blend what he was saying and doing with the whole Palestinian thing and the state of Israel. No, it's not the same thing. No. It's not the same thing at all. When people are attacking the state of Israel, they're attacking a government.
Right.
A government making government decisions and killing people.
That part.
All right. What he was doing was attacking the average Jewish person. Y'all can say he wasn't, but he was. Let's stop the cap. Hitler, when you invoke the name of Hitler, when you make a song called Hail Hitler, what are you actually saying, sir? When you went on Alex Jones' show and said, I love Hitler and I am a Nazi, what was you actually saying? That's not a statement against Israel.
Yeah.
That's a statement against all Jewish people. That's the real anti-Semitism. It's not
anti-Semitic. It wasn't. It was very clear.
Bro.
There was no ambiguity.
Right. How could it be any way clearer? This is not the same thing, and too many people I saw try to give Kanye this pass by looking at the whole Palestinian Gaza situation and saying, see, Kanye, no, that's not what Kanye was doing. That's absolutely not what he was doing. He may have given some lip service about the relationship between black people and Jewish people traditionally in this country in entertainment. Sure. He may have made a couple of little reference pieces to that, but stop trying to fold his shit in with legitimate criticisms of the Israeli government. Because all you do is fuck up and add to, you seek to discredit by trying to connect what he was saying to that. It's not the same thing. Not at all.
So they also give a timeline. So in response to the mounting calls for his removal from the festival, Kanye said he wanted to come to London and present a show of change, bringing unity, peace, and love through my music. He said he would be grateful for the opportunity to meet with the members of the Jewish community in the UK in person to listen. However, the Jewish Leadership Council rejected his offer, saying it would not saying it would not meet West to help save the festival. So on Monday, the person running the festival put out the statement that I read already. In response, the Prime Minister's spokesman said, this is less about second chances. It's more about the first principles. What up? He said, this is less about second chances. This is more about the first principles of abhorrence of anti-Semitic statements. As the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, said this morning, forgiveness follows repentance and redemption. On Tuesday morning, Mr. Streeting said, I cannot for the life of me understand why Wireless still has him as a headliner. There are plenty of other talented artists in this country, let alone internationally, who would benefit from the exposure and who in turn would help drive ticket sales. To provide this kind of platform and opportunity to Kanye West against this backdrop of behavior, I think, is a very bad error of judgment. Mr. Streeting added that West's use of his bipolar disorder to justify rotten behavior was equally appalling. Brands including Pepsi and Diageo had withdrawn their sponsorships of Wireless Festival after West was announced as a headliner, canceling the event. Festival Republic said several stakeholders had been consulted in advance of booking West, and no concerns had been highlighted at the time. So That doesn't, whatever. In a statement, the company said anti-Semitism in all its forms is abhorrent, and we recognize the real and personal impact these issues have had. As Ye said today, he acknowledged that words are not enough, and in spite of this, still hopes to be given the opportunity to begin a conversation with Jewish community in the UK. All right. Yeah.
So I'm going to give a conditional, I should say, salute to them over there for that. Now let's hope you can catch up with that with your anti-blackness too.
Right.
That was an anti-African shit. Let's hope you can catch up with that too. Right. Yeah.
Just listen to how embarrassing this statement is. So after all that happened, the Wireless Festival put out this. It's not long enough to be a statement, but this post: as a result of the Home Office banning Ye from entering the United Kingdom, Wireless Festival has been forced to cancel. All ticket holders will receive an automatic refund.
They some pussies for this.
You know how embarrassing that is? What the fuck do you mean? If you would have listened to the fucking people.
Yeah, this was their attempt to throw a spear and say this because they the reason this is because of this. They the reason that blah blah. You know what? It's like they said in the article. There's a bunch of artists.
Yeah,
you could have booked that people would have loved. Kanye not the only music that plays on UK radio.
Bro, like what?
Like what are you even talking about?
This fucking gotcha that he tried to pull. Y'all still listen to him on the radio.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that matter? The people are telling you. Here's the thing. In general, right? When generally morally agnostic companies decide that the shit that you're pulling is not something they want their name attached to, you should probably listen.
Facts, bro.
You should probably listen.
Mike said, "Oh no's, not the cancel culture." Pathetic white noises.
Like this shit is crazy. So after that, Ye put out a statement. I've been following the conversation around wireless and want to address it directly. My only goal is to come to London. Oh no, this isn't after it was canceled. This was before it was canceled. Okay. Before it was canceled, he said, "I've been following the conversation around wireless and want to address it directly. My only goal is to come to London and present a show of change, bring unity, peace, and love through my music. I would be grateful for the opportunity to meet with members of the Jewish community in the UK in person, to listen. I know words aren't enough. I'll have to show change through my actions. If you're open, I'm here with love. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West." And as I mentioned in the article, they was like, "Nah, you good.
Nah, you good. Listen. I hate when people lie. So when you start your statement off with a lie, automatically past that, it kind of sounds like just noise to me, right?
Absolutely.
So you said the only thing I want to do is that's not the only thing.
Bullshit.
Want to do. When we stop, like that's bullshit. What you want to do is
because you're doing this shit for free.
Yeah, right. You're getting money. You're getting this is an opportunity for you to make some money. And for people who say, "Oh, well, he already has a lot of money," you don't understand what it means to have a lot of money and live a certain type of lifestyle.
Yeah,
he has to keep replenishing his pockets. But more so than even just the money, actually, it's all money, because even repairing your PR is about future money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's all about money. Don't sit there and say you was doing some altruistic thing to get up there and sing Jesus walks and shit. No, bitch, that's not what was happening. B. We know it's more to it than what you just said right there. And the moment you make it's the same thing that pisses me off about politicians. Politicians will get up there in front of us and say these platitudes, and we know goddamn well that's not. Come on, man.
Right.
Like, can you keep it a stacked bundle? I would prefer for you to keep it a stacked bundle with why you're doing this shit. You get up there and you say, "Listen, I know it's good for it's good for my political career to make sure the people are okay. If the people ain't beefing and they got their basic essential needs taken care of, I can continue to be in my career. That means I did a good job, and I can rock with the all right, because that's a great incentive for you to do the right fucking thing.
Right.
But don't sit up here now and act like after all that shit, I should say, did Tim break it, or is my phone not working?
No, Tim broke it. Yeah, Tim, you 100% on point, Ash. But you 100% on point, Ash.
I don't know how.
Tim broke it.
But I broke it
twice, actually.
Twice. This is the second time.
Yeah.
And y'all don't know, y'all probably can't hear it, but it's been breaking throughout this entire conversation, I'm hearing this boop, 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 this entire time, right?
No, luckily, I don't think they can hear it.
Good. But no, man, I feel like we should be past this point at this, because we know y'all, we see y'all. The mask is off.
Yeah.
So you might as well keep it real. You might as well keep it real. We know already.
It's going to be
you might as well keep it real.
You're going to have your consistent supporters. So anyway, so to the point that I left out last week, I wanted to make mention of all these people who I've stopped giving my money to within the last year or so.
Oh, yeah.
And a brief explanation of why, just in case anyone wants to join the cause. Now, I say cause tongue-in-cheek because of the people who argue that it's cancel culture and you shouldn't plot on someone's downfall, blah, 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 blah.
Yo, I think that is the most ridiculous shit I have ever heard. It's
there is no cause. There's no cause. Right. I'm not on the campaign. I observed some shit I don't like and have chosen not to patronize it.
You mean like if you went to a restaurant and it was a bug in your food,
right?
And you decided, fuck y'all, I'm out, and then you went and told your neighbors and your friends, hey, don't eat there because I went in that motherfucker and the cleanliness is just not where it's supposed to be. There was a whole roach.
That simple.
In my French fries.
That simple.
Don't go like that's all it is, bro. That's all it is.
I have no problem explaining exactly why I no longer patronize something. If someone feels similarly to me, I would like them to be aware.
Exactly.
It's that simple to me. So, categories and lists of people. Trump supporters / defenders. Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Nelly, Keith Sweat, Teddy Riley, Nicki Minaj, Chili from TLC. I don't give a fuck what she said. She lying. Okay. Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon less so because there's not many ways that I could possibly patronize him. But everybody in this list.
My daughter stopped watching Wild 'N Out.
I don't blame her. Everybody in this list has at least one song that I would listen to at least every now and then on some type of streaming platform. So I don't have that issue anymore with these motherfuckers. Diddy, self-explanatory, and the we've done enough episodes on him. Yes, I don't have to explain. Wanye.
This nigga won't even use baby oil now.
Nigga, that's hilarious. Wanye from Boyz II Men. So the Brandy thing just came up again recently because she put out her book.
What up, Discord?
And the crazy thing about it is the vast majority of these people, because I was setting up my server, I had just started listening to some of their music again because I basically started my library from scratch. So, yeah, I was listening to some heavy Boyz II Men, and then this shit comes out. I'm like, God damn it. Well, I'm not paying for it. So, Usher. He will never say a negative thing about Diddy. Nope. And now he's doing a joint tour with Chris Brown. So, yeah, Usher's now permanently on that list. J. Cole, for several reasons, but also recently, I don't want to kick nobody when they down, talking about Diddy.
Yeah.
What? No,
especially when the rumor is them niggas had a little...
Yeah, it was about that. They asked him about that, and he was like, I'm not going to give the full details because I don't want to kick a man while he's down. Excuse me?
But did he kick the woman while she was down?
Listen.
You know what?
Listen.
All right. Gotcha.
Israel supporters that I just found out about and don't know.
Tiffany Haddish. Bye.
Well, I mean, it was already bye for her.
Yeah.
Fuck her. Funny. What up, Greg?
What up, Greg?
So I don't know for sure, but it don't matter because I don't pay for music anymore. So
right.
Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga. I know for sure Gaga. I know for sure because she been on some shit. And the latest thing to come to my memory because there was a reason for it. Africa Bambaataa supporters.
Yes.
/ apologists.
Yes.
So this statement from the Hip Hop Alliance. Today, we acknowledge the transition of a foundational architect of hip hop culture, Afrika Bambaataa. As the founder of the Universal Zulu Nation, Afrika Bambaataa helped shape the early identity of hip hop as a global movement rooted in peace, unity, love, and having fun. His vision transformed the Bronx into the birthplace of a culture that now reaches every corner of the world. Through his music, leadership, and influence, he contributed to the foundation of hip-hop's core principles, inspiring generations of MCs, DJs, breakers, and cultural leaders. His imprint on hip-hop history is undeniable and will forever remain part of the culture's origin story. At the same time, we recognize that his legacy is complex and has been
Right. Northside Thunder Shield Valkyrie.
Facts. Queen or mother, Gray. At the same time, we recognize that his legacy is complex and has been the subject of serious conversations within our community. As an organization committed to truth, accountability, and preservation of hip-hop culture, we believe it is important to hold space for all voices while continuing to uplift what empowers and protects the people. Today, we extend our condolences to all who were impacted by his life, his work, and his presence. Hip-hop was built on truth, and through truth, the culture continues to grow, heal, and evolve. Rest in power, Bam. Respectfully, Hip Hop Alliance. Now, before I move on, I need to hear from these individual members and associates of the Hip Hop Alliance. This is a list. Chuck D, I've heard from him already. Fuck Chuck D. I'm going to get to that. Chubb Rock, Curtis Blow, who Curtis signed it, so I don't need to hear from him anymore.
Yeah, you don't.
KRS-One, I know I don't need to hear from him. He's already made his stance clear on this.
Yeah, he said that. He said that back when the allegations first came out.
Yeah. Curtis Walker Jr. That's Curtis Blow's son, so BDK. DJ Hollywood, DJ Cassidy, Dre, Eric B, Grandmaster Caz, Rakim, Melly Mel, Grand Wizard Theodore, Cool Herc, Cool J, Light, Sheila E, Special Ed, Spinderella, Willie D. I have heard from him. He's clear. I'm gonna get to him. Later. Slick Rick. DJ Scratch, that's it. That's all of the names that I recognize that are on their website. I need to hear from y'all because y'all can't be back in this statement. I said, I heard from Willie D, and Willie D is not.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, right? That is gonna have to stop happening. Like, one of the reasons why this shit will continue is because people be parsing certain things. Like, there's no line for you to say, fuck a motherfucker. The motherfuckers are always trying to parse reasons why they should still somehow fuck with the motherfucker. And I'd be like, yo, just because you made in your statement, you acknowledge the hurt, doesn't mean that you're not honoring this. You are. Just because you say, yeah, basically what you're saying is, and we know we touched all them little boys and this, that, and other, but, that's basically what you're saying. And that doesn't really do much to help psychologically, traumatically, emotionally, the people that was involved that actually were impacted and hurt. It doesn't. And you think you're straddling a fence, but you're just getting chafed because that shit does not do what you think it does. You're trying to split ends on this so that you don't get hit with something, right? Mm-hmm. But this ain't it. It's not it. And we're going to keep having these issues because I don't believe people are taking this issue as seriously as they fucking should.
Correct.
And if you are a parent and, in this day and time, hell, 20, 30, 40 years ago, right? Your kid is going to be in the presence of a bunch of adults that aren't you. And you're not going to be there to be able to monitor the situation.
Facts.
So think of it in these terms. Imagine if one of them little boys was your son. If it take for you to personalize it, imagine if one of them little boys was your son.
Right.
How would you feel? Would you feel properly served because a motherfucker made a mealy mouth ass a statement that, oh yes, I'm acknowledging that he traumatized your kid.
Right.
Like the level of seriousness is not there.
And literally,
and I noticed
just an
acknowledgement,
not a condemnation, just an
right.
acknowledgement.
Right.
Nah,
right.
Nigga.
They just acknowledged you. They didn't say it was wrong, it was horrible, it was bad, it was this, that, and the third. They didn't do none of that shit. And that's what I'm saying by
to the point where their wording is confusing because today we extend our condolences to all who were impacted by his life, his work, and his presence right after.
That's crazy.
As an organization committed to truth, accountability, and the preservation of hip-hop culture, we believe it is important to hold space for all voices while continuing to uplift what empowers and protects the people. The next statement, today we extend our condolences to all who were impacted by his life work. What?
Yo, this is what I mean, man. Like, it's this phony shit. Like I said, they're not taking this shit seriously. Look, as somebody who has personally known many a person who has been the kid that was being messed with by an adult.
Right.
This is a widespread issue.
And you know, the crazy part about it is you can say both. Yes. Saying both is fine. Yes. One of these, I don't know this motherfucker from a can of paint. African Bambaataa, really one of the most important figures in the creation of hip hop, and you can't celebrate the bitch because he was sexually assaulting young boys.
There it is.
You can say both.
Yo, I literally saw people on my timeline doing that. I also saw the opposite though.
Right.
I saw people giving the rest in peace thing without that caveat thing, and it's like, bro, we don't take this shit anywhere near as serious as we should. And if you, this is the reason why, in my humble opinion, the Epstein thing, while it was a powder keg in the beginning, it's real easy to suppress a lot of that shit. Yeah. Because y'all don't take this shit seriously in the first place. Care. And y'all really don't care. It was a political thing. It was a political thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of these things where this is some of the most horrible shit to have ever taken place that no kid, I don't give a fuck whose kid they are, should be put into a position where some adults take advantage of them sexually or any other type of fucking way.
Right.
And we are not tolerating that as a society because we are in fact tolerating that as a society.
That's exactly what's happening. And the sheer annoyance, simply because I don't want to oversell it, I'll use the word annoyance, that I have when trying to look for people who aren't tolerating this shit. Yeah. And one of the best examples I can find is niggas calling him gay.
Right. Yo, right.
Like, what? That's what you took away from this? That's the big problem here?
Yeah.
Like, what?
So what does being gay have? Yo, I swear. So if this was a bunch of little girls,
right,
y'all would have been.
That's the implication.
What the fuck is wrong? I swear.
That's the only thing I can imply from that.
Y'all niggas lack so much.
Yes,
but but y'all lack moral clarity. You do. You are not principled. You're not. And listen, here's the thing. In this world, there's nuance. There's always nuance. There should be no nuance about this.
No, not
there should be no nuance about this.
So back to Chuck D. This motherfucker is somebody who's still peddling that Blondie was the first rapper.
He need to stop that goofiness.
Literally, Reston beats Blondie, the sequence, first woman rap recording act. But anyway, what I was trying to get to is,
she was
and of
literally
course he
introduced to that shit by Fab Five Freddy. Literally went to a club where people were already doing that shit.
Oh wait, did he delete it?
He did. He must have got the backlash.
Oh no, he got the backlash. 100%. Yeah, it's not here no more. So I can't even tell you what he said.
He got rid of that shit. Yeah, but somebody screenshot it. See, this is the thing about these day and times, right? If you are, especially if you're a big name, where a lot of people know and you post some bullshit, somebody somewhere has got the screen cap.
Yo, literally took that down and put up the Blondie post.
That didn't help your situation at all. Yo, we know the story. Like, we know the story already about her going down to one of them little club thingies where people was already doing that, or party or whatever. People was already doing that shit.
God damn it, man. Yeah, I can't find it.
Oh no, it's gone, bro. He caught them. He caught all that. It was like, oh no.
So I'm seeing people who have responded to what was his post, because the post, it says the post is unavailable, but you can still see their quote tweets of it.
Of course you can.
Somebody said Afrika Bambaataa was a hero the most, but he never meant shit to me. You see, straight up child sex abuser. That sucker was simple and plain. Motherfuck him and Chuck D.
Yo, them bars could have been a little bit better though.
I mean, listen.
He said instead of straight up racist, yo, you can literally just put rapist.
Yeah,
like it's right there, and it rhymes and has the same.
You're right.
Symbol.
You're right.
Like,
Pan Goofies want us to give Afrika a pass on this. Chuck D is our elder. This doesn't read as a defense of Bambaataa. Oh, this was somebody trying to
defend.
Yeah.
Run interference.
Somebody said Chuck D and KRS. Now, damn, what a shame. And somebody said Chuck D been a sellout. Dude works for the government. Whatever. Let me see. Is there another one? Ha! Yep, found it. Somebody caught him in 4K. Fact and truth, one of the founders of hip-hop. I'm keeping it to the culture and thankful for grace he gave me and my crew and the accomplishments that so many built upon. I'll leave it there. As I always taught, never be quick to condemn and always be slow to judge.
No,
so this isn't his original. That's not the original. That is what happened when they start kicking his back in.
No, but that's still terrible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what happened after they start kicking his back in.
What you gonna say? What you gonna say to them kids, now adults, right? That went through that. Like, you would you hit them with that statement? Right. If you was talking to them, would you say that?
Yeah. Somebody said no. Fuck that. He was a pedo. We judged them.
Yeah, that's what happens, bro. And you can't get on your high horse about the Epstein shit and then act like a bitch when it comes to this shit.
Right.
Like, I don't nah, B. Because I'll guarantee you he's the same one that would condemn Trump, would condemn such and such and all that. But you can't condemn this nigga? Nah, yo. No.
Mm-hmm.
Be consistent. Be consistent with that.
What the fuck? Post growing up rap. Hold up. Let's see where this person is from. Because no. Where is it? London. Of course, they're not someone from the U.S. But they're not on the bad side of history. I don't give a shit what he did for this culture we love. There's no tears being shed around here from Bambaataa being dead. Facts. Yeah. Africa. Oh, I read that one already.
Yo, like I said, people don't. I feel like people don't know how to really categorize things in terms of importance and priority. Like, yo, because somebody had the ability to balance a pencil on their nose,
right?
But they also molested a bunch of kids and broken a bunch of people's homes and stole money from old people and shit, right? But you say, yo, but you gotta say though, you know, nobody,
that pencil never moved.
Pencil on his nose, like come on,
the pencil didn't move. I promise.
Yo, like that shit is wild to me. Like to me, it speaks to what y'all prioritize.
Oh, absolutely. Yo, somebody said, where we at? Chuck D can go to hell, talking about he gave my group grace Africa Bambaataa violated a generation of young black boys, but you value his music more? Y'all love honoring heinous people. Their contributions do not outweigh the lives that his actions destroyed. All right, so I mentioned Chuck D. Now I got to go to Willie D. Ghetto Boys. He didn't have to. Hold on.
Willie don't really be giving a fuck.
He didn't have to delete his statement because.
Will don't be giving a fuck, yo. Will don't be giving a fuck. I knew that when first time I watched his YouTube channel. He first started doing his YouTube stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I started when he was talking about certain issues and not giving a fuck about what anybody. Not giving a fuck. Like, hey, Willie don't give a fuck.
Let me.
The thing is, some of these boys became men and they've told their stories, and I absolutely believe those stories because one thing is, Africa Bambaataa, at least to my knowledge, has never denied some of the most critical claims. He never denied. And that's one of those things when you are a man, and even if you're a woman, but if you're a man specifically, that's something you do not want on your record, and you take that seriously. You take those type of allegations seriously. Somebody accuse you of something like that, you got to fight. You got to fight. You got to fight with everything you got. You got to throw everything at them. Throw everything at them. Their lawyers, their spouses, kids, everybody gonna get it. Everybody get it for an accusation like that. Some of these.
Also, hold on.
You gonna keep the legacy alive. This is why I can't fuck with dudes. Do not respect them. You can't tell me nothing about them. I don't give a damn how many people try to. You gonna keep the legacy alive, and he did this and he did that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to hear none of that, and I don't give a damn who don't like it. I'm standing on it. And if you got a problem with that, that's your problem. I ain't backing down. When I say R.I.P., I'm talking about R.I.P. to the victims, to Africa Bambaataa's victims' childhood, because he robbed them of it.
That simple.
Yo,
that's simple.
This is what I mean by like clarity, like moral clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Moral clarity that doesn't let all that other ancillary shit get in the way. That because a motherfucker did some shit and something over here at some point in time that we gave him a bunch of credit for. It is entirely possible to overshadow all of the shit you did that people would see as positive by something fucked up you did. That's why when I hear people say, well, you know, one thing about Hitler, the trains ran on time. Nigga, he killed millions of people. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
The trains ran on time is insane.
Yo, it is simultaneously the most maddening and also the most hilarious thing about people where they cannot prioritize what's more important because it lets you know what's more important to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me something about yourself when you can't do that. Like, come on, man. This is one of the reasons I fuck with Willie D, yo. Willie D has never been one of my favorite rappers.
Right.
I used to like the Ghetto Boys as a group, absolutely. And Scarface to me is the best thing that came out of that as a solo artist. But the one thing I always fuck with about Willie D is that nigga don't give a fuck.
He gonna keep it real. He gonna tell you exactly what's on his mind. And he ain't gonna give a fuck who got to say what about it.
Nope.
Listen, I love that shit. And like I don't care for the performative shit, right? Like
me either.
The idea of, because I know some people might hear the statement that the Hip Hop Alliance put out and like be looking for these people to like resign from it. No, that's performative. That's performative. What the Hip Hop Alliance has nothing to do with African Bambaataa, actually.
Right.
So no, that's not necessary. Now the statement is dumb, but how you combat that statement is you make your own statement. You don't have to address that statement in any way, shape, or form. This is what I'm saying. I don't care what nobody else got to say about it. This is how I feel. That's you know for a fact that he ain't contribute to that goddamn statement.
Right.
It's that simple.
You have the ability to make your own statement.
That part.
Regardless,
so I need to hear from the rest of them motherfuckers.
I need to hear, yeah.
I need to hear from the rest of y'all. You're not going to hear from most of them. We heard from Chuck D. He on some bullshit. He even deleted it. That's insane.
Here's the other thing about it, bro. The other thing about it is because of the culture that we live in 2-3 weeks, these people are going to get away with never making a statement of their own because people will move on to other shit.
The news cycle.
Yep, that's how it is. And they know that, which is why they're saying nothing.
Facts.
Because they don't want to burn. They feel like they're going to burn some bridges. And I'm telling you, any bridges that you feel are burnt because you stood up against the molestation of children, you don't need them motherfuckers.
Absolutely not.
You don't need them.
Fuck that. That's crazy. So
here's some of
the comments from the from that statement. Hip hop was built on truth, but yet there seems to be a lot of truth missing from the statement. Somebody else said, "What the fuck is the statement?" Somebody else said, "Quote: His legacy is complex." End quote. This line is disturbing. Next person, you should post the Hassan Campbell statement too. Oh, nigga,
I saw it.
It's people on Twitter making jokes about Hassan Campbell. And in relation to this,
yes,
the most prevalent one I seen is Hassan Campbell's boyfriend died today. I'm like, what the fuck is?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro. One, people, like I said, they cannot measure proportionality when it comes to these topics. See, Campbell has been out here in these internet streets, having wars with people, shit talking back and forth. He's made some mistakes. Yeah. He's done some stuff. And what they're doing is they're conflating his current persona with the fact that he was a fucking kid, B. He was a kid, and these things happened to him. So they're saying, well, that may have happened to him, but I don't like him now. So I'm going to say this. That's what they're doing, bro. That's exactly what they're doing.
Some dumbass was trying to defend Bambaataa because the original... So we talked about this nigga before, Philip Lewis. He's a journalist. He does news on Twitter and shit. And he's black, and he be on the right side of shit. Right. So even in his journalistic things, he displays journalistic integrity, but he still does it the right way. His original post was, Afrika Bambaataa, a hip hop pioneer who was accused of sexual abuse, has died. That's how you're supposed to put that statement out as a journalist. Because
that's how that's supposed
you have to include that part. That part is necessary. So some dumbass says, these headlines are so weird. What if it said Philip Lewis, who plays in his belly button and sniffs it, has died? Have some respect. Fuck you.
Here we go again by what I meant when I said proportionality and people not putting things in the proper category. You're saying that this man playing with his belly button and sniffing it is the equivalent of somebody molesting a child is the wildest thing ever, and it says more about you than anything else.
Facts. Somebody else says, this is not a part of that statement. It's just another tweet. When good people die, you don't have to excuse or explain things they've done in life. It's very, very, very elegantly said, sir. Very elegantly said. So hold up, where we come back. Somebody said, I need my legends from back in the day to think before they start posting tributes to Afrika Bambaataa today. Don't do it. Even though he may have done you a solid back in the day or looked out on some occasion or maybe even held you down for one reason or another, put that old school loyalty aside and understand he had some real demons that we aren't questioning anymore. Just accept it and don't post no condolences or well wishes. Slow down and think about what actually is going on. Respect the victims and respect the culture by not lifting a man into the rafters that doesn't deserve to sit there.
This is the reason I don't have heroes.
Yeah.
This is the reason right here. I don't have heroes. All of my heroes are fictional. Yeah. All my heroes are fictional. Facts. Right? It was like, this is the reason, because like even the ones, the people that I respect highly, I can't call them hero because I don't know what they got into. And trust me, there are a bunch of people that I look at and look like, yo, I appreciate this particular person right here. But I don't know what their personal life was, and I don't want to get into that. And the moment you start putting them up on this hero pedestal, now you gotta take all that shit too, and then you gotta as much as I respect Thomas Sakai, as much as I respect Patrice Lumumba, as much as I respect even Marcus Garvey, as much as I respect all of these men, I know that they were men,
Right.
I know that they were human, and I
Facts.
know that I don't know everything about them. So
Correct.
rather than just call them heroes, you can reference them, you can talk about the stuff they did, blah, blah, blah. But the moment you put that hero label on them, that means that if some shit come out that really overshadows the heroics you're talking about, you got to keep it a stack.
You have to.
You have to keep it a stack.
You got to. Also add Arrested Development to the fuck you list. They put out a
Of course they did.
yeah.
Of course they did.
And it's crazy. I was just talking about them in the fucking song Tennessee. I was just talking about them. And it's everybody's lost their fucking minds. So a couple points I want to talk about. Stop with but and instead use and. I understand Ye said this, but what about the people who facilitated him making the Hitler song? You see how that works other than so you're being disingenuous. Another point. Black women get way more than black women do on these things, right? That's absolutely true. That's why whenever I talk about cancel culture, I have the clear example of Chrisette Michele.
Right.
That doesn't mean we should stop shaming or holding black women accountable when they do fuck shit. It means y'all need to do it more for black men.
It needs to be equitable across the board with that shit.
It should not depend on their gender. It should depend on what the fuck they did.
The but not and thing is funny because this is run-on thing that me and my daughter do, where she say, "Daddy, guess what?" And I go, "Chicken butt?" She said, "Yes." And
hilarious. So
thank you, Betty.
Thanks, Betty. For Kanye specifically, he's being punished for the anti-Semitism. And in a vacuum, I'm jealous about that. Right? Mm-hmm. But it's partially our fault.
Yes.
Who's the last black leader to speak out against him? Was it that leaked Obama thing where he called him a jackass?
Yep, called him a jackass. That was
maybe, but I'll give grace and say maybe one or two people after that have, right?
Yeah.
To be clear, here's a short list of things he still hasn't even apologized for. White Lives Matter shirts. Pushing the lie that George Floyd's death was caused by overdose. Praising Nick Fuentes. Saying ugly women deserve to be sexually assaulted. Trying to sell hoodies that look like the one Cassie was wearing in the video where Diddy assaulted her.
Mm-hmm.
That's a short
Also
list.
saying that slavery was a choice.
There's many other things that can go on that list. Lastly, don't get it twisted. I don't care if you personally stop supporting any specific individual. Right? When I start judging you, is you defending them.
Yeah.
Or showing them some level of grace that downplays their actions. That's when I care. If you want to still listen to R. Kelly on all the streaming platforms you possibly can, I don't care. I won't be doing that, but I don't care. It's when you start, how could they possibly get rid of...
No.
Here's how they possibly... Let me show you this documentary called Surviving R. Kelly. This is how they possibly could do something.
This is the thing.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, just because I listen to these people's... I participate in these people's gifts to the world because I'm doing it in spite. Mm-hmm. You don't get to take this away from me, and now you're not going to get paid for it.
Right.
I'm doing this shit in spite.
Right.
But for somebody who decides they're not going to do it at all, I'm with them.
Right.
Absolutely. You decide you don't want to hear R. Kelly's voice ever
and
again?
I know for a fact that what he's saying is the truth because he knows that's me. I can't hear once you did certain shit. I can't hear you.
I feel you. So I guess let me roll into a week in review because it's this one fucking thing that it's not that bad. It's not that bad. All right. So one thing about having this baby that nobody warned me about, and it's probably because it should have been. No, you didn't. It's probably because it should have been fucking obvious. And it should have been. I'm taking the blame for this one. It should have been obvious. I should have realized. Is the drastic increase in people wanting to converse with you. Nigga. Basically, women at every level of familiarity in my life talk to me so much more now in some instances, it's great. Like my mom and my childhood homegirl and my supervisor was not my supervisor.
Yeah, that's different.
In those situations, it's great because I already have relationships with them.
Right, it's different.
But then there are the annoying ones. So I just have one example.
Before you go there, I just gotta say this is true across the board, because in my experience, I remember walking down Liberty Heights, and I had my daughter in one of those little pet poos type thingies, and I had a bag and all that, and I worked my way down, and a car full of women came up the street, stopped at the light, saw me, and all start doing the applauding shit. It's like, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. So for strangers that see you with the baby, and for people who know you that just know you have a baby, they just talk more to you.
They do. This course said, "Yep, can confirm." Yeah. True. It's a fact.
So
it's a fact.
I have one example. This one woman asked me how much JJ weighed. Now, funny enough, he had a doctor's appointment this week. But this was before that. Yep. This was before that. Absolutely. This was before the doctor's appointment. So our last number that we had was 10 pounds, like 10 pounds, 7 ounces or something like that. So I told her that. For just for information, he's now like 12 pounds. So yeah, he's a chunky boy. But so I told her it was 10 something, in good faith. And not being so much of a curmudgeon, you know. Today's lesson for the kids is to stay true to who you are. I'm sorry. Because I could have. My natural reaction to something like that is to answer as shortly as possible to end the conversation.
Very curtly, so you can keep moving.
Right. I did not do that. I answered in a way that was inviting and welcoming to continue.
Just gonna say.
So I tell her, yeah, he's 10 pounds and such, and you know, when he was born, he was this and blah blah this and blah blah. And her response was something like, "Oh, well, mine's is double that, ma'am." Ma'am. First of all, this is not a competition. And even if it was,
I win.
Your baby is like 7 months older than mine.
Yeah, like relax.
Why would my baby weigh the same amount as your? What is happening? Like, what is going on right now?
Please.
Like, please, chill the fuck out, please. Please. Like, calm down. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's insane. But it is true. I'll really only have like one thing this week. Let me give a official happy birthday to my monkey Chaos. She just turned 29, so time keeps ticking. You know what I'm saying? Time keeps ticking because I already had a 30-year-old kid because Malik is 32, but. 29 years old. And all I kept doing was looking back at the old pictures of her from the time she was baby to toddler to teenager to now. And the one thing I can honestly say is that one of the most calming, taming things that happened to me was having her. Because all of a sudden the world wasn't just about my ego.
Right.
It wasn't about just that. And
yo, Mike said the Chalk Olympics. That's hilarious. Yo, that is hilarious.
But yeah, man, like that. If you knew me pre-1997, all right, I was still going through some shit. I was still reconciling my behavior with a lot of things, my responses to a lot of shit. But it's nothing like having another life that you're responsible for,
Right.
to make you realize you slapping the shit out of that motherfucker right there over some perceived slight is not necessarily what's going to be in your best interest.
Facts.
Because once they haul your ass off to jail, who's going to take care of this one?
Facts.
Right? And so it ain't about your ego, and you need to up your offense triggers, right? Because right now you had hairpin trigger, right? And you need to be a lot less jumpy than that, right? Also, when it came to just even with finances and stuff like that, which admittedly I've never was that great with, right? But it did help me because, hey, this is a thing that has to be taken care of because she need this. She got to have this, blah, blah, blah. So her influence in my life, just from that standpoint, was world shifting and world changing. But from another standpoint, because kids go through these stages and then at some point they become adults.
Right.
And knowing that I raised a quality adult who gives a fuck about people, who embraces her heritage. She embraces her natural hair. Like she's all of these things that before I had a kid, and when I got more culturally aware, I always said to myself, I want my kid, I'm going to pass that down to my kids because we got to keep this thing going and shit because it's important. The fact that she became all of these things with my influence, but also more because just like with my influence, when it comes to looking up stuff and research and all that, she does that shit. So she confirmed a lot of this stuff and the importance of this stuff for herself, right? And to be able to have her still in my life, because I know quite a few people I grew up with who kids don't speak to them for good reasons. You know what I'm saying? Very good reasons. I didn't have that relationship with my daughter. And I thank my mom for that because the type of relationship I had with my mom informed the type of relationship I had with Siobhan.
Right.
So her birthdays are not just a celebration for her. They are a celebration of her for me. So, yeah, happy birthday to Siobhan. That was my week.
Word. All right, well, that's it.
So we'd like to thank all of you once again for joining us for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast.
Yeah.
Please understand, those who are Patreon members, there is a Patreon episode of the Writers Roundtable. There will be another one. Absolutely. And rousing and arousing. Yo, Mike. Mike
Hilarious.
Mike is ass. He's so ass. Yeah, that's all. Also, there's always music.
Always.
There's always music.
Always.
And there'll be more music.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
projects. Projects afoot. So to
We
speak.
were just dealing with some music on Thursday.
Absolutely.
There's more music.
There's more music coming. And there are other things that we are working on and trying to get straight. But trust me when I tell you that we have some stuff that we're going to be, it's going to be exclusive to Patreon initially anyway. But once we get all of that stuff together, there's still things we need to figure out about it. But I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at that sort of content that we're about to do.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned for that. So for my man SPJ,
You.
I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.